Okay, Danielle, since you are first, you get to be my guinea pig. And apparently, guinea pig for nothing.
Some people joining in.
Well, of course, I just messed up my countdown, so we'll be starting in just a minute.
Do what you gotta do. Do what you gotta do.
A bunch of new releases, a major decommission, and we are live with the Smart Doll News. I'm Sandy.
I'm John.
And this is my Lady Disdain.
Hi, everybody. We are live.
Yeah, it's us. Again.
Hopefully, I saved all my mess-ups for the pre-show.
So it's Tuesday News Day.
Yes, is that what it's so no longer Taco Tuesday, it's Tuesday News Day?
It's Tuesday News Day.
Okay, I can go with that. We've got I think a little bit lighter news in terms of quantity, but some interesting stuff this evening to talk about.
Yeah, we had some new releases this week. The cargo shorts came out, which are pretty cool looking.
I just want to point out a couple of new things that we're trying out tonight as you go through. We are going to try out highlighting some chat, which may fail utterly, which it did during the pre-show, but I think I know why. But just as a test here, Natalie says hi. Theodore says, I got a question, and the picture is that a boy blue doll. That's awesome, if so. I think we'll be addressing that a little bit later.
We will.
So, shall we dig into our new releases?
Yeah, I mean, like, I wanted to get started already, and I guess I kind of jumped the gun. So, cargo shorts came out.
Let's take a look.
So, I love the idea of the straps just kind of hanging down. When you can't really have cargo shorts without cargo pockets, and when they're this short, there's no cargo pockets.
Right.
So the straps hanging down kind of add that hardware detail, which I think is pretty neat.
Yeah, it's as if these aren't made to hold cargo, but they are made to be cargo. Yeah. Like, you can strap them into the plane, and you're good to go, and she's not going to move.
Well, I mean, I guess she could use them kind of like bungee cords, like, strap things down to her thighs.
Yep. Like if she wants some extra exercise, she could strap weights to the end of it. Or if they were bungee cords, she could like slingshot herself. Like
she could strap snacks to her thighs.
Snacks. Weapons. Just starts swinging weird nunchucks around. I do love as much as I joke, I love the aesthetic of this. It's pretty cool. I like the hangling bits. The hangling bits. I love the hangling bits all hangling around there. Yep.
So, the Clickety-Click stands came out in black.
Totally. To be honest, I ordered most of the new stuff this past week. I'll be interested to see how this works out, but I like the idea of having the stands disappear just that little bit more to not have to get rid of the orange, and it's a nice flexible option. Mm-hmm. So if I am shooting a girl on a black background, this is going to even more so disappear.
Right. Rather than the flesh tone of the doll, which looks like a weird appendage coming out of the middle of her back.
The vestigial, well, it's not vestigial because it's actually quite useful, but the sort of very singular use tail.
Yeah.
So this was a nice option. Comes in packs of 1, 2, or 3, which is pretty standard for his Clickety-Click stand. I always want to say clack, but it's not that.
Because things go clickety-clack.
Yep.
They don't go clickety-click.
Well, these do.
Yeah. And then we had also in black.
I do just want to point out Jessica agrees that the ribbons are definitely for tying blades to the thigh.
Okay.
We've got the Clickety-Click stand. We've got some new boots.
Yep, the 3-ring boots in Molten black. I think those look really cool in black. I wasn't as psyched about them in the brown, but I like them in the black. They're that biker boot kind of thing.
Yeah, the brown just doesn't quite get there.
Yeah.
And this just nails that look.
Yeah, those are Roxy's boots when they arrive, definitely.
Yep. She is our badass biker chick if we have one.
Yeah. I like those. And look at all the details. I mean, like all those little studs and the D-rings, and I mean, those are really cool.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, like, this could be more detailed, I suppose, but I feel like he's got the really nice balance of simplicity in design and how it's put together, and having just enough of those little small details.
The only thing that's a little different to me is it actually has the seam on the outside of the toe there that's kind of like an Ugg boot.
Yep.
So it's kind of like the Ugg boots that have there are Ugg boots that have like a strap that goes around the ankle.
So they're biker Uggs?
They're biker Uggs.
Interesting. I'm looking at these in an entirely new light. So that is it for the items, right?
Yes, for items that is indeed it.
This is sort of a new release.
Yeah, so it looks like Lovely Liberty got an update. new eyes and a new wig. I really love the short version of that wig. It looks like it's the same wig that Coco Independence wears, but
shorter?
Yeah.
Maybe. This looks to be a mixture of like blonde and like black.
And like an ashy color. I
Yeah.
think I'm pretty sure that's what the Independence wig is, but I don't know if anybody in the chat agrees with me or disagrees with me, but I think that's what that is. I think it's the same fibers, just short.
Yeah, maybe I've just never quite looked at the Independence wig closely enough. I don't remember seeing this much dimension and contrast in the various hairs that are in there.
So what do we think of New Liberty? I mean, I like the eyes. I like the eye change. I think it's pretty cool.
Yep.
I don't think that there's any other change. I think it
wig
was just the wig and the eyes.
I'm pretty sure.
She looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't. I'm trying to think. She was brown-haired, blue-eyed before.
Was she
correct?
blue-eyed?
I want to say. All right, well, let's take a look and see if we can find a before picture. Danny specifically mentioned when he posted about this that he's well, here he is. I will leave the previous customer photos as they are, which he normally does.
Yeah. So let's see if we can see her before. Okay, somebody's got her there with blue eyes. Is that what? Maybe see if there's more with blue. I mean, that's definitely her wig. Yep. Okay, so almost everybody is showing her with blue eyes. So
a brown bob and blue eyes.
Yeah, I like the new gray eyes. I think that they work really well.
I think they work quite nicely against the pattern and the skin tone in her. Now I'm blanking on the term. Not vitiligo, or is it vitiligo?
Yeah, that's vitiligo.
Okay.
Yeah.
I always forget which, like, the red one is versus...
Red one is port wine stains, but I'm not sure what the, I can't remember what the name of the...
He just needs to do
scientific name is.
I don't know why he didn't just make it the lavender wig, because she looks awesome.
She does look really good in the lavender wig. That's a Logan's Cottage photo.
Abby says that she loved the wig and with that particular skin tone. I agree. I think this is a nice change, and I think it's nice to get a change every now and then in the dolls, and get some new wigs out there instead of just having the same thing. I know it can be tough to feel like we've missed out.
So speaking of that, it seems like...
Decommissioning.
Yeah, so Fortitude, I mean, at least, I mean, has always seemed to be one of Danny's favorites, Fortitude in particular, but...
Yes.
I'm wondering what is happening to this lady, because I don't think she's entirely going away.
Well, Fortitude, you mean Fortitude as a whole?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's... I mean, are there too many of... Well, no, there's not that many of the main dolls that have all three skin tones. So it's not unheard of, right, for him to limit the number of skin tones.
True.
Although it's a little odd to have a doll that's not cinnamon first, right?
Right.
Like, that doesn't have it, at least, like, cinnamon is like the broadest category.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I mean, people love Fortitude, so I'm sure that she is, she's getting a revamp or maybe a multiverse.
So you think this means Fortitude, like, all around Fortitude, is getting a revamp?
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, he's taken Cinnamon down.
What if she's just not that popular?
I don't know. From like things that I see online, she's a pretty popular girl. I mean, Fortitude has become really huge.
Yeah,
and she's definitely one of Danny's favorites. He has said she is.
That's why I wonder. I'm like, are we really gonna redo one of his favorites. Well, all right. Everyone in the chat, let us know, what do you think? Do you think that the cinnamon version of Fortitude is unpopular enough that Danny would say, let's let her go? Or do you think that he's got something coming?
Yeah, I think that she's getting some kind of a revamp, or she might be getting, like I said, she might be getting a multiverse.
I just don't put it past Danny to pragmatically look at sales, which we obviously have no clue about, and say, hey, we've got these two versions, and one has become so popular that it's massively eating into the sales of the other.
That's true. That's possible. It could be that Fortitude is so popular now that Cinnamon Fortitude is just like not selling as much as she was.
1/4 Canadian says that they immediately thought of Magic Girl Kit Kat when they saw the decommissioning page. They have her in T. She was their first, and they love her. And maybe, I guess this is more of a hope. It sounds like that they're redoing Cinnamon Fortitude. I just don't know how you decommission Fortitude and redo her without touching Fortitude.
Well, I mean, we don't know for sure that it's not going to happen. I'm trying to think if when any of the other dolls have gone away, if they've gone away like one color at a time. Yeah,
Havlin Star says, I've been a smart doll collector since 2018, and I've seen many dolls come and go. Yeah, I think there's no question of that, like, a doll can come and go at any time. The big question is just that variant, and a fairly popular, broadly accessible variant.
Right.
Interesting. But yeah, a lot of people in the chat saying that T is their favorite.
Yeah, so. I mean, she's gorgeous. Like, I was not a huge Cinnamon Fortitude fan, but I do like Fortitude. I think that she's really pretty. It works well in T, and that wig is amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's losing that wig. Well, we have other redheaded girls. There are other. I'm not sure who, but I'm sure there's other that are wearing that wig.
Yeah, that wig is on somebody else too. I can't remember.
If My Girl Ambition ever comes out, maybe we'd have that another option. Cool. So that was Fortitude, and pretty much everything that is going on with the releases. Should we talk some boys?
Let's talk about the boys.
These are some of the news items. These are this stuff isn't out yet. Nothing like that.
Yeah, so this is Kohaku?
Yeah, which I believe he said means amber in Japanese, which is weird. My niece is named Amber, so it's just confusing to me. But I do like the Japanese name. Kohaku is a very cool sounding name. Mm-hmm. We have a call out here to Sugar Sugar Cherry on Instagram, who designed the face.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not like, I mean, she doesn't have a massive Instagram. She just hit something that Danny liked, and
Danny. Oh, people talk about this usually in a negative sense, right? Like, when people start talking about getting banned or things like that, they talk about as if Danny's out there watching everything, right? On the good side of that, I think Danny is out there watching and noticing people doing pretty awesome stuff on Instagram.
Yeah.
And tagging him is worth doing, because, you may end up getting to work with him and getting your work actually, produced.
Which is super cool.
Yeah. What do you think of Kohaku?
I like him. I think he's very sweet looking. He definitely looks younger.
They've got him in the slim shoulders or arms there.
Yeah, he's definitely a younger boy. I could actually even see him on a pocket doll when they come out.
Yeah. I could definitely see that. I think so far Danny hasn't. quite pulled off the more mature look, like in the semi-reels, like Gemini over there is like sort of this weird in between, not too young but not quite old enough.
I think AG looks a little bit older, and that was one of the reasons that I really like AG, because he's a more mature looking male face.
Right.
But there's a softness to like Gemini that is much more boyish.
Yeah. I think as far as anime goes, this hits, a nice, classic anime boy. Jessica says, I want to see more boys in general so bad.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about that, right? We're gonna maybe get some more. In his post here, he talks about what's coming up next for guys.
Yeah.
So we have Kohaku going to the grid, first of all. And I think there's a lot of confusion around the grid, right?
Yeah.
Like, people have been talking like Adam's not coming out. And here he specifically says, just like Adam, we will initially release his head in the grid. So Adam is coming. Mm-hmm. You can just get him early while they're continuing to work on the boys and the bodies and get that production ramped up.
Yep, and guy parts are in the chaos section. So you can get a body parts of a body if you want to do it that way.
Yep.
So combine the grid with chaos and you can put yourself together a boy.
And in the chaos section, the next guy body parts to be released are going to be Coco vinyl shells and frames. So we're now moving into Coco Boys, and that's what he's going to be focusing on to be released in about mid-October, which is pretty cool and coming up pretty fast.
Yeah, I mean we're getting to the end of September now.
Yeah, love that. I want to point out one last thing, and I sent this to Katie Moore, who is the artist who's doing our face up, our custom one-of-a-kind alternate face for Kabuki Cinnamon, and said, you need to do this. He makes a point of saying that after you've cut the flash of these boy parts or whatever you get from the chaos section, post pictures of your results. I think there was another post that he talked, no, it's this one. Basically, they're talking about like possibly opening up production teams in the United States and Germany to be able to fulfill this need without overtaxing their production capacity. So we've got possibly the ability to get hired, probably as a contractor or whatever, to do some grunt work to pull off some of that flash, to cut it down, and if your knife skills are good enough, that could happen.
So they can put the people in Tokyo on the things that require a little bit more advanced skill. So that's pretty cool. Yeah.
What do you think? I mean, how do you think he was talking about just like shipping people a bunch of like boxes?
I don't know. I mean, it's possible. I mean, I guess you got to figure what's more overhead: finding a place for people to work and doing factory work here in the U.S. and in Germany, or shipping out boxes of stuff to be worked on.
That's true. And if he can do it in bulk enough, and get enough people and ship them, in chunks that is reasonable, it might actually work out pretty well. I do have to say, and I think okay, so Danny used to work for Amazon, and Danny was like, product management. He was in charge of like aspects of the retail website and things like that, and a couple of different projects. But one of the things that Amazon does really well is fulfillment, right? Like dealing with all this stuff. And one of the things that I see reflected in Danny's business practices today is creativity in fulfillment and trying to figure out ways to squeeze more out with a very specific focus, though, of work-life balance.
Right.
And so I think this is pretty interesting and a great way to get noticed by Danny and to get involved.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. So let's check in with the chat. 1/4 Canadian says a US and or EU smart doll manufacturer would be pretty cool. The only way I think he could expand the business without exhausting his staff is open more offices. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good point. Oh no, Alana, no, maybe it will be a smart doll MLM.
Oh God.
Oh,
I would be so heartbroken.
oh no.
I hate MLMs.
No, Alana, I think I'm not gonna kick you, but there's part of me that just oh, it's so evil. Such a suggestion. But seriously though, lots of cool options there. You got boys coming out. Definitely commitment. This is a good week for Danny reestablishing commitment to certain things that people were starting to think like he wasn't like caring about or going forward with.
Right.
So, you know, I had a question.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it's a bit of a question and a little bit of a statement, I guess. It's shameless self-promotion. So, I just want to take a moment and ask, like, are you guys enjoying the news? You know, do you find this useful? And is this something that you want to see us to continue doing? If so, I think you should go hit that like button and help spread the word and let everyone know that.
Yeah, tell people to come join us.
Yeah, especially join us live. A lot of fun. Really enjoying the chat today. We got one more thing to talk about before we get back to the news.
Yeah, we have another video.
Yeah, we just released on Saturday our unboxing of Interstellar Blue Kabuki, or as I like to call her, Kabuki!
Otherwise known as, ours is known as...
No, they gotta watch the video.
Oh, right.
Don't give away the name. You can check her out, but shall we give a little preview?
Sure. Dressed her up today, gave her a little attitude.
She got a little, outlaw star thing going on.
She's got on an outfit from Elite Doll World that I kind of modified and made sort of a space pirate look. And she has a necklace on from Katie at Good Life Doll.
Yep, just got those in the mail today.
Yep, and if you haven't seen her interview with Magical Girl Kit Kat, you should go watch that. That was a recent video she did. And then I kind of played with her hair a little bit, gave her some sort of... she's, just because she's not all that nice doesn't mean she can't be cute. So... Yeah,
I wasn't sure about the whole cute, evil, alien pirate thing at first, but I think that you've got just the right balance here, and I'm really digging it.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, there's Monster High and Descendants and things like that, and they're cute, but they're...
Yeah, and we actually... we got this, I don't know if you can really see it, but we got this little, sort of curved ceremonial dagger thing as, an extra in, a piece that we had ordered from somewhere that, does, metal work, and really didn't fit any of our dolls. It has been sitting in a box, and Sandy pulled it out, and I was like, oh my gosh, yes, perfect. All she needs now is the cargo shorts in black, and then we can tie this to the end. It'll be great.
So if you want to see us unbox her, you can go back and watch the video.
We've got a a couple of things going on this weekend. We also have another video coming up on Saturday where we're unboxing some various doll parts from the order, the lot of stuff that we bought from Thomas that we're still working through. So painted doll, like actual, like legit doll heads, and I don't know, boobs, hands, all sorts of things.
Yeah.
Feet.
Yep.
Like, yeah, I just realized that we just unboxed like just like horrible, like
Carnage.
Yeah.
Vinyl carnage.
Vinyl carnage. I'm just gonna, before we move on, I'm gonna call this out. Natalie asks if we can make a video on the care of wigs. So that's definitely a pretty good idea.
Yeah, I think we could probably pull that off.
We're getting a lot of great video ideas lately, and we absolutely welcome them. So keep them coming. We are kind of putting them together and trying to prioritize what makes the most sense, and we need to stop spending money anyway, so please.
Yeah. Someone suggested that I do a fabric shopping, and I did take Harper to Joann's with me yesterday, or day before. Yesterday,
I think.
and we bought a bunch of stuff, but I only did one reel because I found a really cute lion head in the pet stuff that fits her perfectly. So
cool. All right, well, let's get back to the news. The next story is
the use of the tripod stands that came in the chaos.
Yeah, so we this was in the Utter Chaos boxes that we unboxed, well, it seemed like a while ago, but it was last Thursday. We did a live unboxing of a 3-pack of the Utter Chaos.
Yeah. So this one is actually has got the orange Clickety-Click base on it, or end on it. And then he said something about having to tighten the screw with a screwdriver so that it doesn't fall on you, I guess.
Yeah, because with these stands, you really want to often elevate the doll up into strange and interesting positions. You need to make sure that you tighten up that screw so that it stays. In just trying to put that stand on Kabuki, it very specifically, it naturally wants to just settle in, which works fine when you're standing, but you could position her in various ways to try and get an interesting shot, and then like Photoshop out the stand, something like that.
Right.
Now that I've ruined her standing pose, there you go. So, I'm really glad that he did that. It's a good note for anyone who picked those up.
And then the other thing that makes people happy, Blue.
Now I'm Blue. The Blue song, the Blue Ambadiba whatever, it's like scat, but like when it first came out, like everyone that I knew always ended up like butchering it and like ended up singing like I'm blue, I'm in need of a guy, which I think is apropos for this. We've got a blue boy, we've got Adam in blue, and it's pretty cool to see all that stuff happening. I do want to point out, though, Kiwi Collector says, I just want a boy in natural colors, please.
Right. We were very lucky to get Gemini.
Yeah, totally. And they're coming, though. They're coming, as we previously discussed.
But he looks cool in blue. I like him better in blue than I have seen him in cinnamon and stuff. I think he looks really awesome.
So we're going to see him in Cocoa first, which is good. And we've got a little bit of, let me get that up on the screen there. we've got some interesting insight here into what's going on with Danny.
He said that they didn't release Blue Dolls because they focused on human skin tones, but they are going to keep making Interstellar Blue because people like them. But it's a when we can kind of thing. There'll be batches of them coming out, but they are not going away. He's going to keep doing it.
Yeah, so you don't have to get, upset and frantic about missing out. I mean, obviously you want to get the doll, so you're going to want to try and get it whenever you can, but they should come back. Now, we don't know for how long this is, but at least it seems to be that the market has proven that it's worth doing for now in moderation.
In small batches. And he says if they sell out, you can wait until the next batch. Like, it's not like, if you miss it this time, you're losing your chance to get it. I mean, and so you miss it 1 or 2 or 3 times. The 4th time, those people already have their Blue Doll, so you'll get your shot.
And I would say Danny is somebody who deals with misunderstanding a lot, and that's why he writes so much, and tries to sort of over-explain things. So just like we knew well in advance that the Blue Dolls were not going to stick around, I think when it comes time that this situation is going to change, when he decides that they're not worth it anymore, I feel confident in saying that he will give us plenty.
He'll tell us that it's happening. Yeah. So yeah, he says he'll make them until folks get fed up of them. In other words, when sales decline and people say they don't want Blue anymore, he'll stop making them.
Doll Fairies in the chat says, I feel very blessed that I'm not interested in the fantasy skin tones at all because it's making it so much easier to save my money.
Doll Fairy, we actually, we weren't interested in Blue. But Kabuki just got us. And when you see Blue in person, it is stunning.
I think what did it for me was leaning more into the alien fantasy aspect of it. So the Kabuki face and what I have been working on story-wise with our Cinnamon Kabuki, Ray, and the alternate face-up that Katie Moore's doing for us, and she's literally in the mail coming back to us.
Yeah.
She arrives tomorrow, so cannot wait. That story, when Kabuki in Interstellar Blue came out, it sort of... I mean, naturally she's a sister, but it sort of just blew that up for me. And once I connect story-wise to something, it's kind of over.
Yeah.
So it's less to me about the fantasy skin tones and more about the story that I happen to be telling.
It's funny when I dressed up our Kabuki today into this new outfit, John actually said, "I'm really surprised that this science fiction theme has gotten you so motivated." And I'm like, I'm motivated by anything where I can let my imagination just go crazy.
Right.
And so I can have fun with science fiction because there's no rules.
Yeah, that's true. And there's so many genres and so many interesting things we can do. I mean, in fact, in my head, I have so many story points floating around that we haven't even begun to tell one story.
Yeah.
With really even Kabuki, let alone Kabuki.
And of course, he'll come to me with start of one idea, looking for me to help him figure it out, and I give him 6 branch offs to work on.
She's not so good at she's good at the brainstorming, go wide part of brainstorming, but not the narrow down part of brainstorming.
I don't know that there is a box. Most of the time.
Yeah. I will say now that we have one Blue Doll, I'm interested in more, but probably for custom face-ups. Except for maybe Prophecy.
And I'm kind of cringing at the thought of doing a custom face-up on a Blue because, people like them the way that they are.
Yeah, but it's a doll. It's, so I just don't get what I want. I don't know. I mean, I will say this. So to briefly let you in on know sort of what I'm talking about, Kabuki and Kabuki, they are half sisters. So there's this whole alien race kind of thing going on. Clearly, she's blue. I imagined that they live in a matriarchal society, and so that there is a matriarchal figure that would come into play at some point, and I am just beginning in my head to figure out who that might be. I think it is either going to be a blue, like maybe Singularity, would naturally look more mature, or Prophecy is an interesting option.
Yeah, I had suggested Prophecy, and especially like not putting an eye in the third eye, like putting something different there.
Yep. And the other option, which I'm really intrigued by, is that crystal clear doll that he's teased in his stories. I think a custom face-up on that would be very interesting. Like, the matriarch does not have blue skin. She is clear for some... I mean, it's aliens.
And we do know we have green coming as well, so who knows? She might be green.
That's true.
We don't know that.
Kiwi Collector says maybe we could put a unicorn horn through her third eye. There's definitely something needs to be done different with the third eye, and I don't know what it is. But now you've got me thinking like really weird anime, like a weird tentacle tongue thing hanging out of it. Oh man.
Maybe she blows bubbles out of it.
Theodorus asks, are we going to do a box opening for the head? I'm assuming the alternate Kabuki
The
head.
So Spice face up?
Yep, and absolutely. It'll be an unboxing. We're going to be talking to Katie about her process. We've actually got... I had her... she did like a whole video through a good chunk of the process, so we might have sort of a speed through of some of the face-up process. And as per usual, I'll be doing some form of little cinematic introduction.
Sort of a la what we did with Raycon, our Cinnamon Kabuki.
Yeah, the original one.
Or the Fates, the way you saw them.
Well,
but
not
the
like
story.
the Fates, no.
Not the story. That was a lot of work.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm thinking I've got some good ideas. I've been working on a pretty cool prop for this.
Yeah.
So
Costume and prop building is happening.
Yep. So I know it's going to be like weeks of work for like barely a minute of video, but that's how it goes. All right. Moving on, we just like to take a quick peek. There's not too much here, but quick peek at Danny's Instagram stories.
Yeah.
This is usually kind of this is the stuff that's being way teased and it's pure speculation. So this is the first one to come out since our last one, and obviously this was a tease. Or I don't even know. Maybe it was released at the same time, but I think it was probably a tease
of Liberty in her new look.
So I think that ended up being one of the product photos.
But are those new pants?
That's a good question. I want to say no.
I don't think I've ever seen. Are those just the?
I feel like they're just old.
They might be old. The capris. They're
All right.
not.
Come on, chat.
Someone tell us if those are new or old.
Yeah, interesting. I really do like... I mean, sometimes it's like matter of hours, but I love the teases that Danny puts out on his stories.
I like the use of the gray tripwire on her wrist.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. That's a good call.
Yeah, I mean, he does that a lot with the tripwire, but I've never seen him use the gray before, and it looks really cool.
It's also a good call that they can't see it, so there you go. Sorry, chat, and anyone else. So yeah, we've got Liberty. We've called out the pants. We're not sure whether those pants are.
They don't. I don't know. They don't look like they're not the Mura pants. They're not. They could be khaki cargos, but they look kind of green.
Are they? No, are they like the original capris?
Maybe in a lighter color? Because the original capris are actually like a true like army green.
I don't know.
Those look really light, unless it's just the way he's, like, the lighting that he's using.
Having Star says pants are new. It's odd that they don't have any sort of, like, there's no not buckle. There's no like snap on them. There's no closure on the front. And I mean, I think that's the top of them.
Is it? Yeah. Yeah, it is. It looks like, they look like they're just pull-on.
And as Sandy was pointing out, when you couldn't see it, we've got the tripwire used as a nice sort of accent, almost like a glove or
which we've seen him do with, like, the regular, like, the black and the brown and stuff like that, but I've never seen him use the gray, and I think it looks really cool, particularly on the Coco.
Yeah, the gray does look very nice on the Coco skin tone. Jessica has no pockets. Where will she put her brass knuckles? That is a very good question. I feel like these aren't, like, these are just pants that he has for them. Like, I don't know. It seems weird. It lacks a lot of details. Like, I don't think these are production pants.
Maybe not. There's no pockets on them really at all. It's like, where are they going to put their snacks? He always makes a big deal about some place to put snacks.
It's true. I hate it when I forget to put on my production pants. Alana asks, maybe he's testing the fabric.
Maybe.
Yeah, and the color is a bit unusual. Havlin's reading this as sort of a pastel yellow. I read this as green, quite honestly. More than yellow.
I'm seeing sort of a sand color. That's what I see.
I'm seeing like a black and blue dress. That's what I'm seeing.
Isn't it gold and white?
It's gold and white. No, it's black and blue.
Brainstorm.
So we've got, of course, his Lego builds, which I haven't been putting up. There was enough, but there's not too much with his stories these days. And it's always nice to see what he's building and how his collection is growing. I've never been too big into the Star Wars collections. Like, one of my first Lego kits is the collector's edition of the TIE Fighter, the TIE Advanced, which is a large piece, but I love Star Wars, but I never got into this. I like the architecture and the modular building sets, like the town stuff.
Yeah, so it's more colorful too.
Apparently he watched yesterday. I enjoyed yesterday.
I did too. I really enjoyed yesterday. It was a good movie.
It was a very fun movie, and I have to absolutely agree with Danny's sentiment here. I want to go back to the UK.
Custard creams, kebab, and fish and chips. I just want to go sit somewhere and have tea and scones and clotted cream.
Yep. Apparently, Natalie says if you go to his Insta page, he has a file called "Look, It's in There." Interesting. We'll take a quick look after this. So the last is this.
Okay, so we've got Genesis in the police uniform.
I want this uniform so bad.
So the only reason I can think of here, I mean, he's not showing a new doll, so it's got to be about the release of, the police uniform.
Oh,
it's got to be
hat.
coming.
I love uniforms. Like, I don't care what it is. If he puts out a uniform, I want it.
UPS.
Totally.
Oh, I would love to dress the dolls like UPS drivers.
It'd be awesome. you do shots with them carrying the other doll boxes and stuff.
Well, I mean, he has them around. He shows them doing stuff around the warehouse.
Right. No, yeah, you're totally right. And I just, this outfit is just so cute, and I love the hats. The shape of their hats are phenomenal. Yeah. So that is that. So let's go to Instagram / Danny Chu. Is it? Are you talking about the looks one?
I like the sort of... Is that a light...
There's the... Yep, they're capris.
Yep. Is that a light... Was that a light blue Henley? Or is that gray?
That is so hard to tell. I feel... No, well, it's not the same
Go
as
back
that.
one more, because I think she's in there twice there.
I think it's a blue. I would call that blue. Mainly because, like, really here, where it's doubled over.
No, and it's not really the Henley either. It's actually got straps. It's not the actual shoulders, like on the Henley. It's just got the V-neck. It's got, like, a Henley neck.
Yeah.
But it's got tank straps.
Let me pause that. There we go. Those are really nice. Jessica says, hashtag bring back the pastel. There is definitely part of me that is looking forward to the post-apocalyptic.
What's coming next, basically? Yeah.
There's a lot of cool stuff, but I'm interested to see what he's got coming down. Like, bring some color back into our lives, Danny.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is that, like, everybody else, like, all the independent people do color. You know, do all kinds of things that are in colors, and then he gets to stick with his post-apocalyptic look.
Well, in the end, he does what he wants, what he's interested in. And I think he and I sort of approach things similarly in that, like, he develops things based around story. He gets stories going in his head about the girls, who they are, and what I'm interested to see, what I hope is next. Well, I know technically the post-apocalyptic stuff sort of ties in with the Solar Police, but the Solar Police don't, like, they're very different styles, right?
Yeah, I mean, even like the jacket that we got in Chaos was not post-apocalyptic. It's legit looking, you know.
So it seems like if they are all in the same universe, same time frame or whatever, that he has drastically different sort of places and climates. And so you've got the whole post-apocalyptic wasteland stuff, but I want to see the urban stuff, the stuff more the stuff from the cities. Like,
well, what I'm thinking is, I mean, he did say cyberpunk is coming.
Yeah.
So
that's true.
That could have, I mean, it could very well be post-apocalyptic, but it could also be very more like, you know, science fiction, urban. You could add some more of that stuff back in. Like the Millennium boots and things like that.
Yeah, I mean, do you think... I don't know. A Kiwi Collector says color would be amazing. There seems to be just everyone's agreed, like, let's get some color in here.
Yeah.
Do you think what are the chances that the whole cyberpunk, like, did he say cyberpunk was related to, like, clothing? Or are we just going to get, like, a cyberpunk sort of licensed thing?
He gave out some words one day in his stories, and I wish I had that in front of me, but it was like, cyberpunk, and I forget what the other three things were. There were 4 words that were things that they were working on, and I can't remember what they all were anymore. I don't know if anybody else remembers what they were, but there was, like, one of them was cyberpunk. And I mean, he did do that prototype of the doll with the cyber.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So
that's in the garage, right?
I think you could just probably... Oh, yeah.
This feels like... Was this an old one? I don't remember this.
She was in the last batch that sold.
What I mean is this an old page?
Just type cyber in the
Yeah, you're right.
And see if you can find it.
There she is. That is Cyber.
I think she's got in her hair too. Some weird.
He's got like, I mean, those could. I want to say those are like office paper
It
clamps.
could be, yeah. Holding her hair up in the back.
Yeah.
Yep. I can't say I haven't done that before.
Yeah, it works. I love this.
Yeah, she's really cool. I hope we are going to get her. A version of her.
Yeah. The clear doll, something like this would be amazing on. You know, I imagine if I were to do like a face up on that clear doll, I would want something to anchor the face, so it would actually try and fade in like a skin tone of some sort, but have like things like hexagons and things, so it looks kind of like it's being displayed, like pixels sort of, but like larger hexagons and then like circuits and stuff like that.
With as popular as Kabuki has been, with as popular as Kabuki has been, it doesn't surprise me that he would go for like deciding to put this one into production because of that face paint. It's so different.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's interesting. Kabuki, I wonder long term how Kabuki is going to perform, right? Does Kabuki end up being more of an art doll? Or like one of the normal dolls? And the distinction I make there is like, do you buy it to put it on a shelf?
Right.
Is it a collector's item, or do you connect with the doll? I've connected with Kabuki more than almost any other doll, and her face paint is part of it, and I think it's partly because I was forced to justify the face paint.
Right. You created a story for her.
Yep.
So then she becomes important to you.
So I wonder what that's like for other people. You know, do you create stories for your dolls? Is it just me, and like I get like I'm generally an ideas guy and a creator and a storyteller. That's just like what I do in different mediums. But is this more normal that people create more backgrounds, or is a name and a sort of an idea of a personality enough? You know, for most people.
I don't know. I think it's just...
How weird am I?
I could answer that.
Yes, you can. Catalina R says, I actually make comics, so I make dolls based on my comics characters.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's very cool. Catalina, do you make actual, do you do face-ups on the dolls and sort of change them, or do you leave the dolls as is but fit them into, with clothing and hair and eyes to match your characters? I'm really interested in that sort of like, how far do we go, to do this? Part of me, and maybe this is just to try and save some money, but part of me is really getting into the idea of more custom face-ups, and to build out characters that don't exist but build off of the sculpts that exist. Catalina says, pick the dolls that already look like my characters, and then I pick the clothes that suit their personality.
Yeah.
So yeah, that works. And we've sort of talked about doing that with like casting for TV shows and stuff, like Buffy.
Yeah, I have a big ambition to do some Buffy scenes.
Yeah.
With the dolls.
Yeah, not the musical. Too much.
I love the musical.
We could put Buffy on the turntable going as fast as like she can reasonably hold on, like not fall over, and just like that's all she does at the end of the musical, right? She just
she's like
spins
spinning
and
around
spins.
really fast, and then Spike has to stop her. Yeah.
Alan Star says I've paid for several artists to make face-ups on characters I envision, so definitely not alone there. Abby says, I like to create characteristics around my dolls. I like to think of how they would react and their style with clothes.
Yeah, it's always interesting to me, like even watching like other people, other smart doll people or other just doll people on YouTube talking about playing with their dolls. And I always wonder what constitutes play for someone.
Yeah. You know, and this also goes into the gender conversation for me.
Yeah.
Like, it is more acceptable for me as a creator as that. Can I see here? Is she a storytelling medium? Am I a creator using my tools, or am I a man playing with his dolls? You know, like there's such a weird, mixture. I mean, oddly enough, I think no matter what, it's harder for people to see the creator aspect and assume, you're a boy playing with dolls, which is just really dumb. But Doll Fairy says, I agree. I was so excited when all the chaos first started because blank smart doll heads were something she desperately wanted. The chaos. I especially like the big bundles and stuff. Being able to just get a bunch of heads and have like a variety to kind of work with and play with, which we're still using even as like bartering items and trade.
Yeah, mostly that's what we're doing is bartering with them at this point.
Stellar Rhapsody, possibility to make more characters drew them in. Alana got an Evil Willow style face up on a BJD. Alana, who do you think would be your Evil Willow in Smart Doll? I want to know that answer. Michael Wyatt agrees with the boy statement. Michael, you agree that that is what that is what is seen by society, or you agree that I'm just a boy playing with my dolls? It could be either. Maybe it's both. Right. So we'll go back to main here. I lose track of what we're looking at. So first off, we have no more news, and I just want to say thank you all for the great conversation. One last highlight here. 1/4 Canadian says, for me, playing is getting a doll and playing out a story just for myself, like a child would do. But creating is using the doll as a medium to get a point across, almost like using an art piece. So, so I guess it's both.
A little of both.
Yeah. So, cool. Thank you all so much. This has been a fun news evening.
This was a really good news evening with a really good crowd. How do we like highlighting the comments? Do people enjoy that?
Yeah, we're going to keep doing it. Obviously, we're going to keep getting better at this, and producing and being on screen at the same time is always interesting. But I will point out, Alana, the answer to the question of Evil Willow would be Moment for her.
Moment. That's interesting. I always think of Moment as being so sweet.
I think she could go either way. She's got some devilishness in her. Like, I think it works. But shall we?
I think we should sign off.
All right. Well, stay tuned, of course, for our Saturday video, and probably the week after will be the face up from Katie Moore.
We don't have any Chaos that has come out, so we probably aren't going to be surprising with Chaos anytime this week.
No.
So.
And I apologize, but maybe we'll post some pictures of the couple things we bought from last week, but not enough to do like an impromptu live for. So we will. You'll be seeing the normal videos on Saturday, and of course news next Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again soon. Bye.
Bye, everybody.